Alright, so we're starting with Elliot. With what you're trying to do there, Elliot, I'd probably just do one site and then maybe like a page for each. Let's see. You got foot, eye. And it also depends, I would say, how many how many locations you plan on tackling. Like if you plan on tackling a whole bunch of locations for each niche, like you're going to do a whole bunch of locations for foot doctors, then you could just get a domain just for foot doctors and do that. But if you're just doing one city, I would likely do like my city doctors and then a city, like your pages for each city you want to cover, or I'm sorry, a page for each uh, specific niche you want to cover. But I mean, you could do it any way. Just I've found just with experience that having too many sites, like having sites that are just on like a very thin topic like that, and creating a whole bunch of them can be a mess. I had a client a while ago where I had 400 or 500 sites all like just on small topics, and it just became a mess to deal with. So just consider that, and again, it depends how many locations you're targeting and all that. But likely, what I would do if you're just targeting one city is that like something like my city doctors, and then a page for each. Allergies, eye, and what you call it. All right, from Elliot here again. You spread it, Elliot. So, and I'm going to go over this on the webinar Friday. It's not the main thing I'm covering, um, but I do want people to start using a little different anchor text. The way we do it right now, we do, like you would do like e-cigarette brands, brands of e-cigs, e-cig brands, uh, electronic cigarette brands, and you would keep doing that. As long as you're like switching up the anchor text each time, that's the way we're doing it right now. What I want people to start mixing in is let's do a better example, like for like Nashville SEO. And again, I'm going to cover this on the webinar, so I'll go deeper into it. Like when we had NashvilleSEO.org, we would do stuff like find this Nashville SEO service, whatever. I mean, that doesn't make much sense, but you get the point. And I would kind of work my way towards the keyword, the Nashville SEO company, Nashville optimization service, Nashville SEO firm, and we would do stuff like this. What I'm going to recommend, at least for the time being, is you start mixing in stringing with what the way we do it now. So you'd do stuff like you'd maybe start with you can even start with like a URL link, just to kind of keep it safe, and then do something like Nashville SEO services, and then mix in something like, let's say like Nashville SEO firm here, and then do something like SEO service. Okay, then we can go back and do something like Nashville TN search engine optimization. We're getting a synonym in there, and then do another general term, something like marketing for marketing company, something like that. And what this does, kind of it seems, is they're looking at, okay, they're putting this all together. You got Nashville SEO in your domain, so they know it's about that. And you got Nashville SEO here. Then you got SEO service here. It's kind of more general. What we don't want to keep doing is keep repeating Nashville SEO in each anchor text now, I don't think, because I'm seeing that not. It seems like that's starting to. They're catching on to that. So we want to kind of more spread it out where we're using general stuff like this, and they'll combine. They'll kind of string these together. Like they'll string all of this together in a way where they'll say, okay, this site's about Nashville SEO. It's about SEO services. It's about marketing company. So this like marketing company will help you rank for Nashville marketing company. They'll string these together. You got Nashville, 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 and you got marketing. Okay, and you got company here. So that's kind of the idea of stringing. They're more looking at your anchor text as a whole, and we want to be more careful of the way we've been doing it for a while, which is just making sure, like, switching it up each time. So we want to add in more general stuff like SEO service, marketing company, stuff like that. All right. And again, I'll cover that in the webinar on Friday. Yeah, everyone's internet's been weird. It's crazy. I was watching a webinar the other day, and they kept getting like server not found, which is what I'm getting, and then it would load later. So I don't know if it's my internet or if the internet's going crazy or what. All right, from Elliot. No, neither of those is the main group. Elliot, get me on Facebook, facebook.com/melovemoney. Also, there's directions on how to join that in the members area. It tells you how to join that. All right, from Tara here. Let me take off my jacket really quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm like sweating in here. All right. So from Laura or Tara, I'm sorry. Link equity. I'm not sure, Tara. I've never even noticed that. It's not something I've even used. So I'll take a look at it and see next time I use it. But it's not. I mean, I haven't used it yet, so I wouldn't say it's super important unless it's something new I don't know about. From Elliot. No, I don't know how to do that, Elliot. I would ask Hung that, or you can ask the Facebook group. From Tara. Um, Domain authority it's a measurement more by Moz. But people kind of relate it to Google, I guess you could say. Moz does a pretty good job of estimating, like, I guess you could say, real domain authority, what Google will consider the domain authority. But the problem is they give too much weight on no filer links, and they don't give enough weight on government and EDU links. So, I mean, it's not perfect the way Moz scores it, but it's a pretty good way to determine like the power of a site. There's never going to be like an exact way to do it, but let me get a new screenshot. All right, from Tara. Yeah, same thing with page authority, Tara. It's not a Google measurement really. It's kind of like an estimate of what Google would measure it at, from Moz. All right, from Tara. I wouldn't say there is a specific number to expect because I mean it depends on the links going to it. I mean, what drives up the main authority is links. The better quality links, the more that the main authority is going to rise. So, I mean, I wouldn't say there's necessarily any average or number you can expect, or even reasonable or suspicious. Because I mean, there's sites that just blow up and they get a ton of links in their first year. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, Tara. As long as you're not like blasting it with GSA in like a week, which we don't do. Like, I don't worry too much about that. And mid 30s after a year would be totally fine. I know people who have had sites for a couple months and they got domain authorities in the 60s and they're fine. So, all right, from Tara. I mean, if you have links that are going to pages that are no longer existing, you want to redirect those to the home page. You can do that with Link Juice Keeper. Depending how many pages, like if there's a ton of pages, I would just use Link Juice Keeper. If there's just one or two, you can just manually 301 them. And I talk about that in a video I recently did in the supremacy section. All right, from Ron. Nah, I don't worry about that. As long as it shows something, Ron, that's all I care about because that means it's indexed. That's what I go off. From Torah. Can you give me an example, Torah? I'm not following. I'm not following exactly what you're asking there, Torah. I mean, when you buy a site, you want to utilize all the links if possible. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking there. See if you can ask that in a different way. From Torah here. Yeah, if it's in the code, it's being counted. That's what Google looks at. From Jody. Hi, Jody. Yeah, as we recommend with anyone, I would start with the orientation section, Jody. I don't know how experienced you are, so you can kind of get an idea by going through the orientation section of where you are as far as experience goes with internet marketing. David will give you like the best place to start, and he talks about that all in the orientation section. But a lot of people do well starting with the supremacy section, learning how to build a PBN, learning about anchor text and URL, like the proper combinations, and that's the main battle with SEO right now. From Tara. Yeah, I mean it's hard to say without looking at the links because it really depends like personal judgment of the quality of the links. Now, that many links with the same exact anchor text is a little suspicious. Unless if it's a branded anchor text, like the name of the domain or name of the company, it might be okay. Again, that's something I would have to see, and the quality of those links, like if they're from one's from a government site, one's from an edu site, then that could be okay. But if it's from like what seems like personally owned websites, not like well-known websites, then that could be really fishy, and I'd be careful of that. Okay, so it just depends on like where what those links are, and you gotta make a personal decision on that. But all of them being the same exact is definitely a little fishy. From Tara here. I mean, you're looking at everything. You're looking at relevancy to the site. Like if a site's like the commercecenter.org, let's say like NashvilleCityCommerce.org, and there's links about like government type stuff and community type stuff. That would kind of fit the picture of a natural link portfolio, and that's the type of stuff I look for. Or if the site was about, you know, um, maybe like a biking like a biking foundation for some good cause or something, and they have links from like other bike sites and other charities and stuff like that. That's like a natural type stuff that I look for. And then of course I look at domain authority, page authority, um, like Alexa ranking. Like I look at the whole picture. From Peter. Let me see if I can get you in now, Peter. The problem is, sometimes I don't get messages on Facebook because, for some reason, I guess if we're not friends, the messages don't come through. I'm not totally sure. So if you've asked to get in, I haven't answered, just let me know and I'll get you in. All right, come on. This is what my internet has been doing. Just so slow. All right, Peter Coyle. Ah, so slow. Drives me crazy. Peter, we don't want to stop be friends because you're not showing up. Send me a message on Facebook. Make sure you read the directions in the members area. We gotta be friends or it won't let me add you. Alright, from Shane here. I mean PBN, Shane. You can buy PBNs, $12, $9. A few of them can definitely rank a video. A couple of them. I've ranked videos with one link before, so you can go that route. But stuff like Fiverr seems like it's dying out. Your best option for really cheap would be, just cheaper PBNs. From Lior. Yeah, the links without anchor text are still valuable. I would say they're not as valuable, but they're still good. From Tara. I mean, the actual links are the most important thing, Tara. I mean, you're looking at the whole picture. Like domain authority and page authority is kind of something that you just use to like filter, and then you want to make sure the links back up that domain authority and page authority. So, if there's like a domain authority, page authority of around 30, and you have a few really good quality links in there, something that could warrant that domain authority 30, page authority 30, then that's kind of what I look for. The domain authority page authority is more like something to just start with. You know what I mean? Like kind of filter out the sites that don't have the domain authority you want, and then you want to make sure that domain authority is backed up by the links. Right, from Tara here. Don't worry about the links disappearing, Tor. Most of them stay in place. I mean, there's going to be links dying off, and it's not that big of a deal. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about that too much. I don't have a problem with that. Alright, from Tara here. I gotta type that out. Probably not. Not saying it's like not anything, but it's not like a link I'd be excited about. I can just tell by the domain name. And I'll check Facebook after, because I don't want people's personal messages, coming up. Come on. This is what I've had to deal with the last few days. So slow. Yeah, I mean, I get domain authority is 27, page authority nothing. That's not a very good link. And again, you want to look at the whole picture. It's hard to tell off one link. But I wouldn't be excited about that link, Tora. From Lonnie. I use Microsite Masters. Again, it's called Microsite Masters. Alright, from Tara. I would have to copy that whole thing, Tara. I don't think that's because you'd be looking at the home page, not an inner page. So I'm not sure what you're looking at there. And again, I don't look at the Wayback Machine. I just look at the links that are going to it. That's just me. I know Jimmy recommends it, but I don't, and I do fine with it. So, but again, I think you're looking at like in the inner page of a link. Um, when you are looking at the Wayback Machine, you want to look at the root domain. All right, from David. If you're in Project J, I would ask Mike that, but I don't think so. I would say probably not, David. From Ada. Root domains to links? Not really. I mean, I like my PBNs to have at least 6 or 7 root domains minimum, because then if links start falling off, then you might really lose a lot of power from the domain. Um, like if you only have like 2 or 3 referring domains and you lose 2 or 3 links, that's the whole power of the PBN. So I try to stay above 6 or 7. That's like my bare minimum, and they have to be really high quality links for me to go with that. Usually it's at least 10 referring domains, but again, it's case by case. From Thierry. I mean, start with long tail keywords, Thierry. It's that's actually where the money is a lot of times, is long tail keywords. And people don't realize that, they try to go after these short keywords, which are harder to convert, they're harder to rank for. You can start with long tail keywords, you know exactly what the searcher wants, and it's easier to rank for. So you can go in those competitive niches and actually go after long tail keywords, start with that and kind of work your way up. Alright, so don't be scared to do that. And even like those main keywords, like, big city or medium city surgeon, it's not super hard to rank for in a lot of cases. Especially if you work your way up. From Ada. I mean, an easy definition of spammy text would be like Viagra, Chinese stuff, foreign stuff. I mean, that's an easy way to describe it. From Will. We'll be sharing all new updates on the Friday webinar, Will. From Ada. I like name.com from what I remember. I don't have many domains with them, but I'm pretty sure I like them. I'm not positive. I think that's That's the company I'm thinking of, but name.com I think has been good to me from Paula. I mean, the site should index naturally, Paula. You know, when you're using it, when you're setting up your PBNs, they should be naturally indexed. Every once in a while, I'll buy a PBN and it will be indexed when I bought it, and then it won't be indexed by the time I set it up. What I do as a test, I'll just set up a dummy post, and I'll say like, hey, this website is being rebuilt. We can't wait to bring you the new website, blah blah blah, and then I'll just embed a video to help it get indexed quicker. And I'll make sure that indexes the site, because every once in a while you will find a PBN that was indexed when you bought it, but then it'll be de-indexed or not indexed, and you can't, for some reason it won't re-index. But that's kind of rare from what I've seen. Usually, if I put up that dummy post with the embedded video, it will index fine. Then I know, okay, it's good to go. The zoom, come on, there we go. All right, from Cheryl. Probably talking about the Facebook group. Yeah, I handle the main Facebook group. Mike handles like the OMG beginner group and Amazon. Ada. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Ada. It's probably a filter I don't use. I explain all the filters I use in the supremacy section with Register Compass. I mainly look at the domain name, domain authority, and page authority. I'll consider page rank, of course, age, and that's about as far as I go. From Tom. Links, Tom. So, the domain authority of Facebook's 100, but your page authority is not going to rise until you start pushing authority to that page. Okay? It will raise quicker than a normal website because you got the domain authority kind of supporting it from Facebook, but you still need links going to there to get it going. From Chuck. Nah, I'm not mad, Denise. That's cool, Chuck. Get coaching. I mean, that all depends on where you are. Like, I'm not sure if you're asking for what you're asking for help with. SEO, setting up a website, um, optimization. There's a lot of things you could be looking for. I'm not sure what you're asking for, but you can always bring that up on the Facebook group. People can be very helpful on there, or you can ask me if it's about SEO. All right, you're welcome, Elliot from Priest. Not necessarily. You can mix it up and put some links in the sidebar. Because remember, our PBNs aren't huge. It's not like, even if they were, it's okay to have some sidebar links. You just wouldn't want sidebar links on like 10 huge sites and those be your 10 links. So that's, you don't want 10 huge site-wide links, so that's going to cause some red flags. But yeah, putting in sidebar links, just kind of mixing up, getting different types of links can actually be good. So, from Ada. Trust flow and citation flow is a metric that Majestic uses. It's I've never used it personally. It's kind of just measures like how trusted a site is as far as like the backlinks go. But personally, I don't use it. It's kind of like domain authority, page authority with Moz, where if it has like good trust flow, good citation flow, you would want to make sure those links back it up. I'm guessing, but again, I haven't used it personally. I use the Moz domain authority, page authority, and I make sure the links back up that authority. I'm sure that works in the same way, just with Majestic from Ada. I think LI is just like some type of like listing thing. It's like bullet points Ada, I believe. I believe that's the HTML code for like bullet points. But no, it's not a caution, I wouldn't say. From Priest. No, just outbound. Just the outbound links. From Ron. I would say PBNs. Or if you're good at GSA, GSA is a good way to do it. But my favorite's PBNs. From Ron. That's hard to answer because it depends on their optimization skills. What anchor text they're using, what their URL is, because I mean it's a big part of that is the combination of the URL and anchor text. Do they have the keyword in the domain? That's going to help them a lot. Um, are the keywords in the anchor text of the strong links? How relevant are the links? It's hard to say without seeing it. From Ron. I mean, I have a lot of PBNs that just have one post on them. I don't really worry about frequency too much. I'm going to start probably taking a little more care of my PBNs, maybe posting some content that's not even meant for links. But again, we'll talk about that Friday more. From Cliff. Yeah, I mean, it's still safe to use Cliff, but what I do is, and again, I made a video on this. If a site has like a whole bunch of pages that are no longer there that have links going to them, then I will use Link Juice Keeper. But if it has, just like one or two pages that have a lot of links going to them, then I'll just manually 301 them. I talk about that in that video I shot. Because there's no reason, like if a site has a whole bunch of pages that have no links going to it, there's not really any reason to use Link Juice Keeper. So, and I noticed that a lot of expired domains actually are like that. All right, from Priest here. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, it should be fine. Unless there's something I don't know about, but yeah, I mean, that should be fine, Pris. I think I'm reading that right. And just to give you guys a heads up, again, we'll talk about this Friday. I'm not too sure about using expired domains for money sites anymore. They're starting to put together some stuff with relevancy, and I'm not totally comfortable using expired domains for money sites at this point. And that's something I gotta look more into before I make a decision, probably test with it. But we're seeing a lot of expired domains that got rebranded get hit pretty hard. Like they're more likely to get hit because they're just starting to increase their knowledge with the algorithm with relevancy. So Just caution using expired domains for money sites now. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm starting to get a little, starting to question a little bit. All right, from Ron. I would say no. Usually when I need more links, I just go buy more PBNs, Ron. From Ron here. I don't even track that, Ron. I don't really worry about that. I just know that it passes juice, and it's going to help me rank. I don't worry about like how much it boosted the domain, the authority, because again, that's not really like a Google number. It's more like a Moz number. I just know that if I pass juiced with the correct optimization, the correct URL and anchor text combinations, that I'm going to get very good results. And that's what I worry about. From Ron. I mean, that comes with experience. You can also look at competitors, see how many links they have, and what anchor text they're using. But you're going to get that with experience. You know, like smaller cities and like little towns, you're probably going to need one or two PBNs in a lot of cases, depending what the niche is. Long tail keywords, you might need one or two depending on the niche. But again, you kind of learn that with experience. Just starting to do it and seeing. Best price to pay for non-relevant. I mean, I've gotten sites like that for $12. I wouldn't say there's like a set price. It's just what you can find with your research. From Cheryl. Anchor text and URL combination. Cheryl, look at the sink or swim video, and then also the stringing video. Okay. Oh, it's under Pat Coil. Let's see if this comes back up. I'll go back to that, Peter. From Mike. Fletch has some very good examples, I believe, for CPA type sites, Mike. Yeah, so either Cotton or Fletch. Probably Fletch can show you some really good examples of CPA. I believe he has some pretty good examples. Or you can ask in the Facebook group. And there's plenty of people who do it in there. Alright, let me get to the OMG group. Come on. I'll check it after, Pete. My internet just drives me crazy right now. You might be in, but it's not be showing. But yeah, Mike, ask that in the Facebook group about CPA sites, or ask Fletch. From Ron. No, that can be okay, Ron, because likely it's just like one or two site-wide links, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. 11 root domains, 100 links, because one of those domains could just be a site-wide link where it has 90 pages. Okay, so that's 90 of your links right there, and then the other 10 are coming from your other 10 root domains. You get what I'm saying? So that there's nothing wrong with that. From Thierry. Again, Fletch or Cotton's a good person to talk to about that, like how to deal with clients. I'm not the best at dealing with clients. Um, but I mean, if it were me, and again, I would take Fletch's advice and Cotton's advice over mine with client stuff as far as what to tell them. But I would likely tell them, look, this may take a couple months to start seeing results. It's just the safe way to go. And if we went quicker, it could hurt your site. So we're gonna do it safe, and you'll start seeing results in a couple months. But again, Fletch and Cotton have a lot of experience with clients, so they would probably be better at it than to ask than me, like how to deal with clients. From Ada. If the site is de-indexed, it will come up as nothing when you do this. So you do site colon sitename.com, and that's obviously not a site. It's hopefully not. And it will come up as no results found. Okay, did not match any documents. That means it's not in the index. Whereas if you did like omgmachines.com, that's obviously indexed. So we got pages showing up. Alright. Patricia can't hear anything. That's weird. Looks like she left. Alright, from David. Yeah, that can be a good strategy, David. But yeah, when I have my social accounts, I always link them all together because that's natural. If you have a Facebook or a Facebook page or a Facebook account, whatever, a Twitter account, a LinkedIn, Google Plus, a lot of people like link them all together. For when they're on their Google Plus, they'll say like, look, I also have Facebook, I also have LinkedIn. Here are those links. And even when you do your money site, like here's my Facebook, here's my LinkedIn, here's my Twitter. It's kind of showing that you're like a real business. So that's definitely fine to do. And then of course, hitting those with your PBNs will just power everything. Um, it will power your money site. It will power those properties you're hitting. So yeah, I mean that's a strategy that we do ourselves. From Paula. All right, so it is index. So yeah, I'm not surprised that you're not ranking because you only have branded anchor text. Unless you have an EMD, that's not going to help you too much with rankings. Like if you have like gregsite.com and you're trying to rank for Nashville SEO, two links with gregsite.com as the anchor text aren't going to really help you rank for that. I mean, it's going to boost your authority a little bit, so it might help you rank a little bit, but probably not noticeably. You probably won't appear on the top 10 just by doing two branded links from a general name domain for a keyword like Nashville SEO. So yeah, I mean, what's going to help rank that is anchor text with your keywords in it. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can do like social stuff. What David was just talking about, creating Facebook and YouTube, YouTube video and link it back to your site. Just kind of start building that authority. And again, that can naturally rise it. But what's really going to help you is when you start getting links with your keywords in there. That's kind of what Google really helps. That's what helps them identify like what the site's about. From Peter. Yeah, because I mean, me and Jimmy will like tag team stuff. I'll do PBNs, we'll do GSA, and it really works well a lot of the times. From Ron. Yeah, usually as soon as it goes in my account, I'll just put Privacy Protect on it, Ron. Um, and with GoDaddy now, I'm mixing in fake names. When I get GoDaddy sites, Some of them I won't put on privacy, and I'll just go put in fake information. But yeah, for the most part, when a site goes into my account, I put privacy on right away, or as soon as I get to it. From Cliff. I'm not sure. I mean, I always just use my brain, kind of, Cliff, and the Google suggestion. You know what I mean? And I'll mix and match. So if you go type in, e-cig brands, you see down here it gives you suggestions. And I'll kind of use these suggestions to build. Okay, best electronic cigarette might be a good one, so I'll go type that in. You can mix it with this. Okay, maybe best e-cig brands. That's a good one. And see what suggestions you get out of there. What is the best electronic cigarette? Year. Best electronic cigarette review. Best e-cig flavors. So that's kind of the way that I get my ideas, and I'll kind of expand on them with my own brain, so to speak. All right, from Cliff. Oh, is there a tool? I don't know. I just use Keyword Planner, what I just showed you, and my brain. From Tora. Livesuite.com. Let's go look at it. Oh, it didn't take forever to load. Wow. All right. First thing I can tell you about this site, Tara, is I don't like the amount of root domains for this low domain authority. Like this amount of root domains, your domain authority should be up in at least the 50s, I would say. So I can already tell these are probably spammy type links, a lot of them. And the first thing I see is foreign anchor text or foreign title with Tom Shoes. Um, and what was the site name? Live Suite. Tom Shoes. It just looks spammy. Like the anchor text, I can just tell these aren't like natural type links. The URLs, Tom Shoes homepage. A lot of like foreign stuff. So this isn't something I would even keep looking. I can just tell by scrolling down here. And the anchor text, just kind of putting this together. This is like a spammy type site. Okay. So that site right there, Tor, I wouldn't even deal with. Alright, from Ron. The best way to rank without expired domains, like social stuff, Ron. Like using your social properties, like I just talked about. Google Plus, YouTube videos, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Kind of getting that going, get your domain authority going. You can use Web 2.0 properties, citations for local sites. But the main way we do it still is PBNs. From Ada. No, don't worry about fake. Don't worry about that, Ada. It's again, as long as the links going to it are good, that's what matters. Okay. From Paula. Okay, yeah, Paula. So again, this is brand new. Something where we've just started seeing in the last week. So it's something that just kind of started changing. If the expired domain is on the same topic, then yeah, it would be probably be good to use and help a lot. But the irrelevant PBS, like KLKS was a radio station I turned into an e-sig site. Again, I'm suspect about that because a lot of those seem to be dropping off and having trouble ranking now. It seems like they're putting together that relevancy. So it's not something I'm going to be recommending, at least till I test more with it. Um, but yeah, I mean, if the expired domain was about the topic you plan on doing, then that should be fine. Okay. From Coco. And again, yes, Coco, I would say that it is usable. But expired domains that are on they're not on the same topic, I don't feel comfortable recommending that anymore after what I've been seeing the last week. From Lonnie. I use ahrefs.com for that, Lonnie. Again, that's ahrefs.com. That's what I use. Some people use Majestic. From Paula. Oh yeah, absolutely, Paula. Absolutely. And Jimmy Kelly will probably be doing some training on that soon. He calls it domain authority stacking. So he will likely be doing training on that in the next couple months. No, Weebly still works. That's a Web 2.0 property. I don't know the exact thing you're talking about, but Weebly still works. You're welcome, Mike from Dexter. I mean, what you could do, Dexter, is have like the information you think that they are looking for at the top. You know, like top of the page when they get it, and then kind of below that, just have like a short paragraph with that SEO rich content that makes sense still. You know, it's not like if they read it, they're not going to be like, it's not going to like put them off. You know what I mean? So just have like the most important content for the visitor when they appear, or whatever you think that is, and then below that you can kind of do that SEO type content if you need it. For Shane. No, it has to be the actual site showing up, Shane. Alright, from Priest. Yeah, I mean, de-index means pretty much like a penalty, whereas not indexed just means it's not in the indexed. So, I mean, a de-indexed site is not indexed, but usually when you say de-index, it's more referring to like a penalty. A site that's not indexed doesn't necessarily mean it's penalized. It's just you gotta sometimes test to see if it is indexed. You know, sometimes again you'll buy an expired domain, it will be indexed when you buy it. By the time you set it up, it's no longer indexed. Doesn't mean it got de-indexed. Just means it's not indexed. and then you want to do that test post with the embedded video and see if it gets re-indexed. If it does, it's safe to use. From Paula. There's actually a video on that. Ask David Mills where it is. Someone from the OMG community did that video. You can email him, David at omgmachines.com. From David Turner. Yes, that should be okay, David. Should be. Because I think the relevancy thing is the problem. So if it was a lawyer site before, that should be fine. From Dexter. I never even mess with those domain extensions, Dexter. I stick with the big ones, .com, .org, .net. From Cheryl. Again, check that video in the members area, Cheryl. I always thought that was a problem, but supposedly it's not. There's people who have been using fake names for a long time with a lot of success. You just got to forward the email you set up to your email so you can confirm the information. Like they'll send a confirmation to your email. So you would set up like a domain, like an email like on like support@domain.com. That would forward to your email. You would get the email, click confirm, and they'll say, okay, this is real information. From Ron. Well, now I prefer a new domain. You know, with what's going on in the last week. From Priest. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a problem with doing it yet. I've only done a few of them, but I know people who do mostly that, and they've had no problems that I know of. From Greg. The actual anchor text of the link, Greg, that's what I mean. From Elliot. Yeah, I mean, what I mean is you might only need one PBN to rank a site, Elliot. So if you have like Franklin Plumbers, a site about Franklin Plumbers, you set up a PBN, you put up content about plumbers, and you link to that Franklin Plumber site with a keyword optimized anchor text, it could just take that one single link to rank it. That's what I mean. All right, from Ron. No, I'm just talking about expired domains for money sites, Ron. So that's like a site you would find at Register Compass that you would then turn into a site that's used to make money, okay? Like a money site, not a PBN, okay? PBNs are fine. Sites off Register Compass for PBNs are totally fine. Just turning like those expired domains into an actual money site, that's where I would be careful of right now. From Ron. Again, if you're going to be using it for a money site, it should be very relevant. My advice is right now. If it's a PBN, it still doesn't have to be relevant. Okay. From Liliana. Not necessarily. I mean, it can help with rankings, Liliana, but it doesn't have to. You can take care of that with your anchor text from your links. But your domain name does not have to have your keywords in it. It doesn't have to. Alright, so we're about 5 after. I'm going to take this last set of questions here, and then we'll get rolling. Looks like this is the end of the questions anyways. Alright, from Shane. Um, I mean, I would definitely be more interested in the last 90 days and what's pointing to it right now, Shane. But if it has like a real bad history, that's something that might turn me off. But I would say 80% of my interest would be what's going to it right now. All right. From Liliana. A PBN is a private blog network, it stands for, Liliana. It's what you use to power like a website that's meant to make money. All right, and we talk about that all in the supremacy section. And also, this actually reminds me, we're gonna add in some office hours for me. They're actually gonna be beginner office hours. So people who are complete beginners that are asking questions like this, those what those webinars are going to be meant for, and we're going to be scheduling them very soon. We're going to do 2 of them a month. So Liliana, I think that will help you and anyone like you who are pretty beginner, and I can explain that in more detail in those webinars, which are going to be coming up soon. We didn't plan on doing that, but we want to make sure the beginners get a lot of extra time just to get introduced and all that. From Cliff. Yeah, and people get like mix up the terminology as far as like different people use different terminology. An expired domain, like the real definition of an expired domain, is actually a domain that went through the auction phase and didn't get picked up, and it expires. So the date gets reset. It gets put back into the domain. Like you can go register at GoDaddy.com, not as an auction. That's an expired domain. Like it's a domain with history that has links that you can register new. That's an actual expired domain. Most of the PBNs we get, and I teach you to get with Register Compass, are actually considered auction domains. So that's like the correct terminology. From Cliff. Uh, uh, I mean, I'm not sure just because this change is so new, Cliff. I mean, I would say maybe if it was the same location you're gonna be doing the SEO site as, it might be okay. But even that, like, I'm not sure just because it's so new. And again, to be safe, I wouldn't even use auction domains for money sites right now unless it's like pretty much the same topic, just to be safe. From Cheryl. Again, there's a video on that in the members area. But you get the fake names with fakenamegenerator.com. It'll give you fake information that you put in for the contact info. Of course, it's not going to load because my internet's horrible. But yeah, this site, Fake Name Generator, generates the fake information for you. Okay. You would set up a. Okay, here it loads. Come on. Whatever. Okay, so it would bring up fake information. You can hit generate, it'll generate fake information. You put that in for your contact information. You would just want to set up an email on the domain that you're doing, like support@domain.com. Again, forward that to your email that you monitor, and then when they go to confirm your information, they actually do it through the email. So they'll send an email to support@domain.com, which will forward to your personal email, and then in that email there will be a verification link, and that's kind of how you verify the information. But again, we have a video on that in the members area. From Tara. I mean, that's not super high, so it doesn't look competitive. But again, it depends on their URLs, their domain name, and also the anchor text they're using. But I mean, looking at this, that wouldn't be hard to beat. You wouldn't necessarily need PBNs with those metrics. I mean, again, a lot of it has to do with your anchor text and URL combinations. And PBNs with less powerful average metrics than those could still outrank that. Okay. Remember, it's not all about domain authority, page authority. It's about the links going to them. But even something with a good amount less power with the right optimization, which is URL and anchor text combinations, can definitely outrank that. No doubt about it. Welcome, Greg, Paula. No, I'm talking about money sites again, Paula, not PBNs. I'm talking about auction sites that you use for a money site, not a PBN. Okay, so don't get that confused. Cheryl. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you, Cheryl. All right, last one from Paula. Yeah, that's kind of correct, Paula. Um, because I mean, PBNs we're not really trying to rank. Again, yeah, we're using that to pass link juice, whereas money sites we're trying to rank. So it just seems like they're putting together that relevancy with those money sites because it's kind of on that first tier where PBNs are more on a different tier than a money site. Like a money site's that first tier right front and center, whereas a PBN is kind of like it's more like a tier or two back. All right. All right, everyone. I'm gonna get this recording over to David tonight. It should be up by tomorrow, and then my next office hours probably early next week. And again, we're gonna start doing beginner office hours as well. So anyone that's a beginner, you can come to those, and I can really go into depth and make sure you're on the right track and all that. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. That's going to do it for this one, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a good night, everyone.